Hey, we are back with another Pokemon Hardcore Nuzlocke challenge, and in this video I'll be attempting to complete Pokemon Platinum version using only the Dark type and on only one attempt. Now, time to get this challenge started. Now, Pokemon Platinum is probably one of my favorite Pokemon games, especially since it's in the Generation 4, which is my favorite generation of all time, by a long shot. But unfortunately, you can't really find dark types that easily in this game, so I had to do some creative maneuvers to actually obtain the dark type pretty early on. So thanks to the Universal Pokemon Randomizer, I think that's what it's called, I was able to start with a dark type here, just in the slot, so Barry could still have the type advantage on me in the future for any future battles. So they definitely changed the beginning up here with all these little snow patches as we just kind of wait for the professor to finally approach us here so we can actually choose a Pokemon instead of having to follow him to the nearby lake and having him leave his briefcase full of the Pokemon for odd reasons, because they changed that because that's pretty negligent. So after he asks us a couple of questions, for some reason he can't just say no to. It would be great if one of these Pokemon games actually gave us the option to be kind of roguish and just have any response that we kind of want to say and see how people would react. But unfortunately, these are kids games, so they'll probably never do that. So as we're just talking to the professor here, just finally getting down to the actual Pokemon decision. You have Don walking up here with the actual briefcase, and for some reason he decides to just give Pokemon to these two random strangers. Who knows what his real plan was, but he allows me to pick Pokemon first, and so I decided the dark type that I was going to start with was going to be a Houndour here, because it's not terribly strong, it's not terribly overpowered, and at least it's part fire type, which is the typing of one of the starters anyway, so it's easy to pick with Houndour as the choice. It's easy for the rival to pick the choice that is actually strong against Houndour here. So now that we have Houndour, just kind of going to start the journey here, not really knowing the encounter rates for a lot of Pokemon. So Barry just challenges us right off the bat after he chose Piplup. So I just send in the Houndour here. So this is where I start noticing that, Houndour really doesn't have access to great moves early on. So I hit it with the Ember here, and I hit it with another Ember. And as Piplup is just going for the Growl, not really going for the attacking move, which is pretty helpful since Ember is the best I can really do. So I finally get the burn off on it, which doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters a little bit since Piplup in these generations, they don't have the move that's strong against your starter as of yet. So it was actually pretty useful. So we definitely beat Barry there, and we're finally at the point we can just Rowan can give us this Pokemon, and we nickname him Hades, and we just begin the journey proper from here. Now, this challenge, this dark type challenge, is definitely, it would have had its moments, but unfortunately we're probably not going to see those moments. So after Rowan just kind of gives us Houndour and entrusts us with a Pokedex so we can go out and discover every Pokemon and their evolutions, because for some reason that's what he studies. He's also been doing this for 60 years apparently, which makes him really old. So yeah, just kind of going through the motions here of trying to start this journey, and finally being allowed to leave the Pokemon lab. Just head to Jubilife, where we meet this very strange NPC character, Looker. Definitely had, more of a role to play in future generations, which is pretty cool that they had just like this random NPC that they've kind of given a role throughout the Pokemon mythos. So yeah, we just meet him as this international police officer. I guess is a stand-in for Interpol. So I think it was like a nice touch, more realistic that there'd be international police after, you know, the local evil organization being Team Galactic here and their machinations to rewrite the universe in their own image. So as Looker, for some reason, just darts off in that weird way, we head out of Jubilife and face Barry one last time here. So as he sends in Starly, I send in my Houndor. Again, Houndor has not learned any moves whatsoever, so I'm stuck using Ember for the time being, hoping that this Starly doesn't really attack me, but I'm able to take it out after a few Embers, and with the real problem coming in being this Piplup at level 9. So I go for the Ember, as it's the only thing I can really do, hoping that, you know, similarly, this Piplup is just going to use Growl for the for the entirety of the battle. But it goes for Pound there, not doing too much, and it seems to just be going for Pound. So I'm hoping that this Piplup doesn't have Water Gun as of yet, or it's just probably going to use Growl for the entirety of the match, and I can kind of just skate by on luck here, as these Embers are really not doing much. As Piplup goes for another Growl, which doesn't really affect Houndor at all here, and goes for another Pound, taking me down to 4 hit points as I get the burn off. But unfortunately, it goes for Pound and takes out my Houndor, and losing the run here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.